Making a World of Difference, created by Amanda Thomas. Let's take a look at the threat the poachers are having on elephants to see why it is important for us to step up to protect these magnificent giants.
Scour these valleys, looking for any sign of movement or a gunshot. Night vision goggles help spot elephants and see potential human threats. For this night at least, it was all quiet for nature's so-called great masterpiece. The African elephant is the largest mammal to walk the earth, a majestic creature that shares many noble characteristics with humans. Strong family units and maternal bonds, intelligence, longevity, and yes, terrific memories. Also like us, they seem to grieve and appear to mourn their dead, a trait which tragically has been on display far too often of late. Some 25,000 elephants a year are now being lost to poachers in Africa. Ian, how bad is it here?
Sanjan, it's the worst that it's been in the last 20 years. It's a steady deterioration and getting worse.
Kenyan-born Ian Craig leads conservation efforts for the Northern Rangelands Trust, an innovative partnership of nearly 20 wildlife conservancies. In years past, says Craig, the typical poacher was a solitary local, simply trying to feed his family. Today, though, foreign criminal syndicates with sophisticated equipment kill viciously and in ever greater numbers. In an infamous 2012 episode, an estimated 300 elephants were gunned down in Cameroon, right inside a national park. So who's behind it?
I think clearly China is driving this, or it is coming from the Far East. 90% of the ivory being picked up in Nairobi Airport or Kenya's port of entry and exit is with Chinese nationals.
Despite laws banning the harvest and sale of ivory, it remains a powerful status symbol in China and the Far East, where it's used commonly to make artworks and religious icons. The economic boom has pushed ivory prices through the roof and rejuvenated the poaching economy in Africa.
So what's the price on his head? The price on his head is about $2,500 to the gunman.
So it's several years' worth of wages on that elephant.
So people are prepared to risk their lives to kill them.
You know, you hear about these ivory wars, but it doesn't seem real until you come across this. And this writhing, stinking mass of elephant has been shot by automatic weapons, no chance at all. Not just one, but 6. One here, one there, one a little bit further over there. And then it comes flooding right at you, and you can't escape the fact that people are willing to kill something this big just for a tooth. There are some encouraging signs. This past January, China crushed 6 tons of illegal ivory, and Hong Kong has pledged to destroy 28 tons over the next 2 years. And Kenya has enacted tougher anti-poaching laws. This smuggler faces 7 years in jail. But the poaching continues, and protecting elephants has become an arms race. Kenya spends tens of millions of dollars a year on its 3,000-member wildlife ranger force. Tracking dogs hunt poachers in the field and detect ivory being smuggled. Digital radio systems now connect rangers with observation posts throughout the country. And GPS collars can track family groups of elephants in real time. They've even built wildlife underpasses beneath highways, allowing elephants to travel safely through historic migration corridors. Just as important is getting locals invested in wildlife. In many areas, tribesmen don't just lead tours, they run the preserves. Tourism profits help communities understand that living elephants can be more valuable than dead ones.
They're seeing these new lodges developing, they're seeing better security for themselves, they're seeing money being generated from tourism, going into education. And so where these benefits are clean and clear to communities, it's working.
But changing attitudes takes time, and time is not on the elephant side. From a high of 1.3 million African elephants in the late 1970s, poaching reduced populations to critical levels in the 1980s. The numbers are plummeting again, and there are only about 500,000 elephants left. If poaching continues unchecked, African elephants could be functionally extinct in our lifetime. This is Mountain Bull, a 6-ton local legend who's been targeted by poachers for his massive tusks. Today, though, it's a Kenyan veterinarian armed with a tranquilizer dart who's on the hunt, stalking the bull, waiting for an open shot. It's an extraordinary attempt to save the life of just one animal.
This magnificent bull elephant has already had lots of interactions with poachers. In one incident alone, he's been shot 8 times. The slugs are still within his body, but he has survived. Now, conservationists and rangers are doing something dramatic. They're taking off part of his tusk in the hopes that it will make him less of a target.
The operation was over quickly, and eventually the noble giant wobbled to his feet and headed back to the bush to hopefully live out his days in peace. But the threat for thousands like him remains. Craig worries that unless the lust for ivory is controlled, the elephant may not survive.
The supply here is finite. This isn't gold. This isn't diamond. This is even more precious because it's being grown by an animal. And we're killing that animal to supply that demand.
The number of illegally killed African elephants will increase without our help. It is up to us to protect these elephants. The motive, you ask? Money. The tusks are used to create jewelry and trinkets to be bought and sold for a substantial profit. Stand up for these giants. Keep the elephants from becoming extinct. One way you can make a difference is don't support the market for ivory. Rather, buy jewelry and other products that support the environment. Another way to make a difference is to support wildlife foundations. Wildlife foundations can provide sanctuaries to keep elephants safe, as well as taking measures to protect elephants in the wild. Be the change in the world that supports and protects these elephants. Stop poachers from harming these magnificent creatures. Stand up for these gentle giants before they, one day, become extinct. Don't let them disappear. It takes all of us to keep these species from becoming extinct. So find a way in your life to help make a difference. Resources to help make this production possible included Prezi, Screensomatic, YouTube videos from CPS and National Geographic, Google Images, and the music playing in the background is African tribal music.